Why is Cortana naked in the Halo games? It's a strange question, maybe, but you have to admit it's quite a curious thing. Why you naked, Cortana? What the hell? Is there any reason in the lore? AIs get to choose their form, so why did Cortana choose to be naked here? Why is this her appearance? Well, actually we have an answer or two to that, and it's kind of strange and inconsistent, and it's got me thinking bizarre thoughts. I'll explain. It's gonna be a weird one. This video is supported by Audible. Don't miss out on their offer for all Halo followers to get a free Halo ebook or one of millions of books of your choosing. Link down in the description. So I've always wondered why our favorite blue sidekick, Cortana, our companion in the Halo games, was practically naked all the time for pretty much no reason. I don't think that's a weird question to ask either. Why? At least up to Halo 5, Cortana's always had no clothes on, and it's especially interesting because Cortana chose to look this way specifically, since most AI have complete choice and ability to pick whatever they look like as holograms. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna say this does not offend me in any way. In my opinion, I think this is a non-issue. Cortana may be nude, but never has she expressed herself as a sex object or some lewd personality that has shamed women or make women look bad, and that would be the problem here, but there isn't, and there is no evidence of that. Honestly, I will say that Cortana being nude is kind of awesome, and though it doesn't make total sense, that's what we have in acceptable. Now, I'm not saying it's awesome because she's nude, and guys like that, including myself, but it's just the fact that, well, it's weird and kind of quirky in a way, and it's interesting, and it sets up kind of a interesting dynamic, a weird blue AI that's naked next to this, killing machine Master Chief. It's kind of cool and badass. Frank O'Connor said in 2015, firstly, she's not actually nude because she has neither clothes nor private parts. She's effectively just wearing a kind of holographic body stocking. That's the conceit. So yeah, it's one of those things you can interpret here. But what the hell are those? Those look like boobs. And I guess they're technically private parts, right? So god damn it, now I'm confused. So we'll get back to that later, but the very first time I believe that this was addressed with Cortana being nude was with former Bungie employee Mick Lees in 2003, when he talked about this very topic and said, "It seems that video game studios are mainly made up of a bunch of guys, and the women in their games are perhaps portrayed in the way they themselves see women. Here, the same 3D artist who wanted to not portray women as sex objects to be ogled and drooled over, coincidentally modeled Kanaku and Cortana. Never mind that Cortana was basically a naked hologram. For her action figure, it was important that she didn't look too young, as she did in the game, so she became a little buxom. I requested her not to be as buxom, but somehow the sculptor just didn't want to make that change. We ran out of time, and there we go." And he shrugs. So if you're wondering what buxom means a plump woman, especially with large breasts. And I guess the original idea here was that they wanted to make a cool hologram chick that was appealing to them, the developers, and consequently, most men by nature. And the first iteration was a little bit too much over the top, the boobs, but they just ran out of time, and of course they were stuck with it. But this doesn't quite explain why Bungie didn't just address this issue in Halo 2 or 3, if it was an issue, or any of the other Halo games for that matter. Yes, she would have looked a little bit different, but Cortana already looks pretty damn different in every single iteration of a Halo game anyway. And if you actually study the pictures and evolution of Cortana, you pervert, then you'll notice that she does get what the younglings call thick and more of a sex object. Look, I'm not gonna get all SJW about this, but they should have just embraced it instead of backing down, or at least publicly speaking down, because they certainly did not back down. They embraced it in the design. We can see that very clearly. There's nothing wrong with a naked blue hologram chick, honestly, being our friend in the franchise of Halo. Just give us an explanation why, right? That's all we really want. Well, actually, they ended up doing that. So let's see what that is. Well, back in 2015, franchise development director Frank O'Connor at 343 did explain why, but it doesn't really make sense, and I don't think it was on purpose not making sense, but just sort of a consequence of Bungie's original decisions here. He explained Cortana's choices for being nude as to attract and demand attention. Well, shit, I guess I can see that. You know, I wanted to argue with that, but no, I mean, that just makes sense. Yeah, you got my attention, Cortana. You're naked, alright. But this all makes sense, except now that Cortana has armor on her body in Halo 5, just on her neck, you can see that it's a damn armor suit, alright? So that's technically clothes. So is she not trying to demand attention or attract attention now? I mean, wouldn't this be the point where she would want the most attention? I mean, it was also said that she does this to put people off so they're on their guard when they're talking to her, and that she has the upper hand in those conversations. Alright, I can see that, but she's claimed the mantle of responsibility. You think she would want to manipulate as many people as possible, being technically the goddess of the galaxy now, right? And now of all time she decides to dress up? What are you doing, Cortana? My only explanation for her dressing up now, honestly, is probably because she has so much power and responsibility, she doesn't need to, grab for straws, such as being naked on her little hologram chip. I don't know. Then again, she may also be infected by the logic plague, which may not be in sync with Cortana's original decision of being naked in front of everyone, making soldiers all insecure and shit. Which now I'm thinking maybe the Great Mind isn't so bad after all, if he's finally convinced Cortana to put on some clothes. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Cortana being naked in the Halo games. There's nothing wrong with the woman figure, and there's no problem here in my opinion. But in Halo 5, she actually does put on some cool looking armor, and that kind of goes into conflict with Frank O'Connor and what he said. Especially here, he says it's kind of almost like the opposite of that nightmare where you have to go to school in the nude and you're terrified and embarrassed. She's kind of projecting that back out to her audience and winning intellectual points as a result. Oh, okay, wait, what? Okay, so I guess Cortana is the only person at the school naked in this situation, but somehow she's getting the upper hand on people. You know, without hindsight, without thinking about it for very long, that doesn't make sense, but think about it, alright? I mean, shit. Jesus Christ, can you imagine, alright? If you went to school and only your teachers were naked, alright? That would be funny at first, but imagine if they just did not give a flying fuck, alright? Oh yeah, my dick's flying around class, alright? For some reason this isn't highly illegal, and they're not sex offenders here. They're walking around and they're telling you what you should do or not do. Do your homework. I don't care if I got a fucking boner. I need you to focus on learning your goddamn ABCs, alright? But with this whole thing, it does imply that if she is doing this in the 2500s, that means that people are just flustered about nudity as we here are in 2019. So yeah, I guess that's a cool lore fact that people get flustered about holograms. It is kind of like porn, coming out on a 3D screen while you're in a battlefield. It's a weird feeling, I'm sure, for all the soldiers. I would be insecure. Anyway, this really makes me wonder, what if the roles were reversed and Chief was naked with only a helmet, of course, and Cortana had a tux on? Well, shit. You've checkmated me. That would be uncomfortable. Okay, I see it now. But only because we're playing as a naked Chief in this scenario, alright? With dicks flying around. Now, if we were a Cortana, fully dressed, and we're running around a battlefield shooting aliens, and then we have a naked Master Chief pop in front of us telling us what we should do with some sass in his voice, then, see, yeah, if I was a woman, I would probably say, yeah, that would be awesome. Oh shit, guys, we gotta talk. Anyway, I think it makes sense they went with this choice. After all, if we keep it real, Halo's target audience was men from the get-go, and most men like women, alright? So making a hologram chick that's naked, that just made sense back in 2001, right? Not to mention that women often find other women appealing too, so there's that too. However, on the story, it gets a little weird because Cortana is often referred to as Chief's naggy girlfriend and long-lost lover, or his mom. Well, god damn it, Halo community, make up your mind! Because quite honestly, I am uncomfortable sitting between those three. What a fucking weird place to be divided between. Mom? Naggy girlfriend lover? Deny it all you want, Cortana's got some things going on, alright? Rule 34 is evidence of people acknowledging that, and I don't know what I should feel here, so you tell me what I should feel down in the comments, alright? Please, what should I feel here? Am I supposed to be turned on? I think it was subtly acknowledged by the franchise development director that Cortana was made nude to attract male players, not for some bizarre fictional choice from the AI itself in the lore, especially when he said that's not why she was designed like that, referring to Cortana's choice to be nude in the lore to intimidate people. I believe that's what he's saying here. But he says, that's how we've backed into our fiction. But that's the conceit, and that's why she does it. She expresses that in her other behaviors, and we've invested in that aspect of her persona. So basically, that makes sense. You know, there's an admission that, okay, yeah, we've been backed into a corner, we don't know what else to say, here's our best explanation in the lore why Cortana chooses to be nude. In reality, I mean, things could be very different, you know, 500 years into the future, right? But this is the best explanation that they have, that she just does it to have an upper hand on people and to manipulate people. So there you go, that's the explanation. Why is Cortana naked? She does it to manipulate people, and that isn't really even, I would argue it's not even really lore or true, because they've kind of just, they basically pulled an explanation out of their ass, and they don't really know why, because, oh god damn it, they did it to attract male players to play their game. I mean, let's keep it real. We're keeping it real, guys. We're keeping it real here, 2019 on HaloFollower, alright? By the way, guys, be sure to check out the Audible. You can learn all about Cortana and her crazy fantasies and all the other things in Halo lore down in Audible's large selection of Halo books. So be sure to check that out. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like this video up if you enjoyed it. And thanks to a friend, White Knight Pictures, for coming up with this video idea. We were talking about weird stuff that day. Yeah, but I hope you learned something, and hope you have a decent explanation as to what Cortana's doing up in here with being nude and all. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.